Guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, I want to talk to you about a story that, and this story has been out since last year. Very few people heard about it, I guess from the place, because of the place it came from. And it's about this little girl right here. This little girl was Josefina Cunningham. She was 3 years old, ladies and gentlemen. She tragically lost her life in an egregious way at the hands of this man that just got sentenced in court this past Tuesday morning to 20 years to life, which I don't think is enough for the terror that he put this little girl through and the pain and suffering she endured at the hands of this dude. I'm not going to tell you what he did. I'm going to let you see this news article about him being in court, and it'll tell you everything you need to know. I don't know how, when a person, does something like this, let alone to a child or anybody else, and has them suffer for their own satisfaction, how are they still breathing? That's to tell you right there, it's a lot of laws in the justice system that need to be changed because criminals have no fear of incarceration no more. And this is your proof.
Folks, this was a baby. She was a baby. And this man violated her in a way that people shouldn't have to think about.
A sentencing in a horrifying case in Rensselaer County.
A man learns his fate for committing an awful crime, raping and killing a 3-year-old girl. Thank you for joining us, everyone. I'm Sabrina Dami.
And good evening. I'm Mark Mulholland. Prosecutors say the community should know what Robert Fisher did last year when he killed 3-year-old Josefina Cunningham.
The details are just awful. And new at 6, Kumi Tucker spoke with the little girl's brother, only on 13. She joins us live right now from Troy. Kumi, good evening to you.
Good evening, Sabrina and Mark. And here at the Rensselaer County Courthouse, it was very difficult to sit in this courtroom today and listen to these horrifying details. And we want to warn you, the details are very upsetting. And many first responders were here. They packed the courtroom today in honor of that little girl. Josefina Cunningham had a sweet smile. She was just 3 years old when her life was taken from her in a horrifying attack. Robert Fisher admitted to raping and killing Josie in her home on Broadway in Rensselaer in July 2023.
You are a threat to society, and you've shown no remorse for what you did to Josie.
He was a friend of her mother. He drugged her, went into her bedroom, and raped her while she was alive and awake.
And these actions killed her. Her body went through such a traumatic response. Her body shut down because it could not sustain the trauma of the rape.
He tried to cover it up, scrubbing her face so hard with Clorox wipes, he burned the pigment off her face. He even put Clorox wipes inside her.
A deeper look at the house yielded that there was bloody Baby Shark's sheets in Josie's room, the defendant's bloody underwear, countless bloody towels.
He said almost nothing in court.
I want everybody to know what Mr. Fisher did on that night. And when our initial responders showed up to the scene and they made contact with Josefina, they described her as being laid in bed on her back with her hands folded across her torso as if she was staged.
But the significant bruising on her hips, inner thighs, and buttocks told a different story. Fisher was sentenced to 20 years to life behind bars.
We felt the plea was necessary because we needed to know what happened. And in order to have Mr. Fisher allocute, we offered him 20 to life.
Josie's brother says this case deserves the death penalty.
People that that are innocent and getting killed like this and murdered like this, they can get death penalty. People that who commit these crimes get death penalty.
And the official cause of death was homicidal violence during a sexual assault with acute hemorrhage and lacerations, plus acute intoxication from the drugs. And prosecutors and police want people to know exactly what Robert Fisher did and to remember that, and also to remember little Josie.
All right, guys, you heard that story. And before I get into it, it said he drugged her. I was looking around. I wanted to find out what he gave her. And it said this. And this happened July last year, 2023. Says Fisher admitted to giving Josie, which is Josephine Cunningham. He admitted to giving her clozapine, an antipsychotic drug with dangerous side effects, and Xanax, an anxiety drug, from her mother's prescription bottles, and then raping and killing her. This guy was the boyfriend of Josephine, little Josephine's mother. They all stayed together in the house. This dude used the medication that the mother take, broke it down in a plan to give it to the little girl. Now he gave it to her in a juice, a little sippy cup or whatever, had her drink it. It kind of like made her groggy. He took her into the room and did all that stuff that he did. What's messed up about this situation is in the act of him doing what he did, she was alive and awake the whole time, they said. It caused her to go into cardiac arrest, in addition to the bleed out of her being violated by this man. How sick is that? And just not from the crime itself, but going through that type of situation with a tiny child. Look at the size of this man, look at the size of this child. Says she had bruises on the inside of her thighs, among other places, scratches and burns, trying to get this man off of her at 3 years old. She don't know what's going on. You got her in the, taking adult drugs to have your way with her. I'm gonna tell you something, look, this is how I think, and I'm not the only person that think like this, and this is dead serious. There are people out here, the only way somebody can, we always ask, why would somebody do this? How could a human being do this to another human being? It's simple. The only way a person can do something inhumane to somebody else, and I want you to remember this, is they refer to that person that they're doing it to as not human. So why should we refer to him as human in his punishment? He did something inhumane, and he need to be put down justly inhumane. It's no way. I'm gonna tell you something. When you lose a child, whether it's to disease or some type of medical or just act of nature, it's a hard pill to swallow, and you never heal from it. Now you combine the crime and knowing that your child suffered and was tortured for somebody else's sexual amusement that's close to you, that you know that wound will never heal. It won't. And that's the thing, the psychological damage this has done to the people that are alive and left to bear witness to all the destruction, while he gets to walk away and be put on a shelf somewhere while still breathing, still thinking, still can reminisce about his life and move forward. This guy is still smile. He'll laugh. He'll make friends in jail. He'll find his way. He'll acclimate to prison life, whereas she won't get to do nothing. At 3 years old, what made you look at her as a sexual object? It's nothing sexual about a 3-year-old child. And this goes to tell you, man, you never know who you have around your kids. Just because they relate good to you on a adult level, don't mean they relate good to children on a level of dealing with a child. For him to do this, it makes no sense. Listen. It says, when the mother called 911 saying Josie was unresponsive, police arrived and told everyone to exit. Fisher's defiant denial of involvement as he was forcibly restrained by the police in his initial plea of not guilty at the Rensselaer County Courthouse on August 2nd, 2023, starkly highlight the injustice we confronted. This guy took bleach and staged the body, got rid of the bloody sheets, tried to clean her up. He took alcohol wipes, like Kleenex wipes, and stuffed them inside of the wound from his forced intrusion into this child and pushed them up in there. He wiped her face with bleach those bleach towelettes or whatever, them Clorox wipes, until the pigment came off her face. I'm done. I was feeling good until this. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. They need to take this guy, stake him on the ground in some sand, and pour hot grease all over him. Then set him on fire, because it's no punishment that will give him the type of suffering that little baby endured. See, the justice system, when it comes down to real justice sometimes, who's the one that gets it? The ones that, the family of the victims, or those who tell you what they think justice is according to guidelines and bylaws that don't make a lick of sense and match the intensity of the crime? I'll see you in the next video. Take care.